Hi, welcome back to KPL Performance. I'm Leo Karzak, and today is an exciting day in the shop. It's Supercharger install day. All right, I already got the engine ready for the install by draining the coolant, removing the intake and carburetor, and installing the lower crank pulley for the supercharger. But before we get to that, I want to show you a little bit about the intake ports on this engine since you haven't seen it before with the intake off. All right, I just wanted to give a quick view of the lifter valley with the intake and carb removed. You can see the intake ports, how big they are. They're about 1/2 by 3/4 of an inch. You can fit your finger right in them. They're going to flow a lot of air. All right, to supply all that air, I'm going to be installing this, my Root Supercharger. It has a fully CNC machine billet 6061 case, gear-driven, 2-lobe rotor design, a tooth drive pulley, and even a scale belt tensioner. All right, I just want to take a quick second and talk about the supercharger itself, how it's constructed, and the clearance it's built with. A full-scale supercharger has roughly 6 thousandths of clearance between your rotors and your case. This one is between 4 and 5 thousandths between the rotors and the case. If you take a piece of paper and slip it between the rotors, it'll slide right in. But if you try 2 pieces, it won't. A piece of paper is about 3 thousandths, so I know I'm somewhere in the 4 to 5 thousandths range of clearance. And it's the same whether you check it on this side of the rotor or this carburetor, that carburetor, between the rotors. It's all the same. It came out really nice. It spins real free, no binding, no clicking. So I think it's going to run really nice. Okay, to go along with the supercharger, we have a new lower intake. It's a plenum style intake, just like a full scale one. It has a built-in water crossover for the upper radiator hose, so the water goes from the cylinder heads through the lower intake and then out to the radiator. We also have 2 brand new custom 4-barrel carburetors and the air hat. This thing turned out pretty sweet. It's stylized kind of after a Scott style air scoop. It's made for the 2 carburetors. It's 2 pieces. It was machined out of 2 separate blocks of 6061 aluminum. The seam is right along the knife edge there. It came out really nice. You can hardly tell it's made out of 2 pieces aside from the couple of screws that hold it together. It's going to look really awesome. All right, we showed you all the parts. Now it's time to get started, getting this thing assembled, then we can get it started up and show you how this thing runs. So let's get to it. All right, I've got everything installed. I have the carburetors roughly tuned in so it runs with the supercharger. It has a little bit of a fast idle when it's cold, but as it warms up, it slows down. So it's doing pretty well. Let's get it fired up and show you how it goes. All right, I already have the carburetor primed up. With the supercharger, I have to give it a little bit of throttle, so I'll open the throttle up so I'm just touching the secondaries but not opening them. Turn on our main power, our ignition, and hit our start button. right, there you go. It's running pretty well. Be sure to check out the website, kplperformance.com, for more information. And don't forget to like and subscribe because I got a lot more exciting content coming in the near future. Thanks.